During the opening of this year's Madz et al. Choral Festival, I mentioned that because of the events of this year, our circumstances may have darkened our view of the world, so that we say that 2020 has not given us a clear vision. But God invites us to listen more interiorly. He assures us that He sees our needs with unquestionable clarity. His is the clearest vision. Someone much greater than all our circumstances is listening to us, and He too is speaking through the events of our lives. We need to find Him and believe He is there. He planted in our hearts seeds of desire to look for Him. It is interesting and very inspiring to realize this need surfacing among the choristers belonging to the Madz et al. Family. It manifests in the choices of text used by the different groups performing. The songs reflect the needs of the people. These songs tonight speak of that desire to believe in the divine, to have faith in God, that faith that is tested in adversities, purified in fire. We did not have any hand in the choices of songs. We feel both humbled and inspired by how the conductors, the composers, were seemingly led towards a particular aspiration: faith. May this night also be meaningful for you, and may you realize that someone else is in control. He inspired these choices of materials not just for the singers who came to perform the music, but for you who are watching right now, listening right now. He knows you personally. Allow Him to commune with you through these songs. He is here. He is speaking. Have faith. Listen.
Hello, everybody. Magandang gabi, Pilipinas. Hello, Pearl. Hello, Alfred. So, guten Tag. Buongiorno, buenos dias, everybody. As we have a lot of supporters from the European continent. Despite the cloudiness, despite the rains, we would like to be heard. Everything will come out. We will do it all with the heart.
Right, Ate Candy, I agree with you. So, despite the pandemic, the typhoon, the flooding, the lack of electricity, we will not let these challenges dampen our spirit. No matter how tough the situation is, we will always look at the bright side of things and overcome this together. Kilala yata ang mga Pinoy, mga Pilipino sa pagiging resilient and persevering. Wala tayong inuurungan na challenges. We shall prevail because we have hope, we have faith, and we have the greatest gift, our voices. We will let our voices be heard. For the past 2 weeks, we have showcased an array of musical feasts depicting the resilience and endurance of the human spirit. We had the privilege of welcoming 19 amazing choirs and introduced 10 new works to the world. Tonight, another set of 10 wonderful choirs and 3 new works are set to make their voices heard. Let me interest our dear viewers for a while. There are but a few wonderful reasons why we should watch the Madz et al. Virtual Choral Festival. For one, the gathering of 66 choirs, not just from the Philippines, but also from the US, Europe, and South America, is something to look forward to. Dagdagan mo pa ng not 30, not 31, not 32, but 33, yes. At dumadagdag pa po ito every week.
Ang dami.
33, ang dami ate. 33 new works and 13 new choral arrangements to be premiered every week until December 13, di ba? Such a musical treat, don't you think? So for tonight's lineup, our talented and hardworking et al. Choirs and conductors have again came up with such beautiful works to reach out and paint the town with colorful use of music that expresses a sense of hope, joy, healing, love, and peace. So join us in welcoming them tonight.
Thank you. We are looking forward to that. So this Ital is truly special. We have conductors and choirs from all over the world, just as your hosts come from all over the world as well. Candy is in sunny Italy, and Pearl is in stormy Pasig City, and I am in somewhere in between Bangkok. And no matter what the weather is, let us keep faith that our voices will be heard. So sabi ko 2 weeks ago, in the Madz family and the Madz et al. Family, we already know each other very well, even if we did not actually come from the same batches. We're like family. So what better way to get the show rolling than to ask one of our own introduce his very good friend. So to introduce our first performer and choir, I'd like you to listen to Leo Gonzalez as he introduces our first performer.
I'm Leo Gonzalez, and I sang with the Philippine Madrigal Singers from 1999 to 2005. I'm also the conductor of the Philippine Airlines Chorale, participating in this year's Madz et al. Virtual Choral Festival. Irv Lumawag is a good friend. Kahit hindi po kami nagkasama sa isang batch or sa isang tour, ang nakakatuwa po sa kanya yung there is continuity in his friendship. Kahit matagal po kayo hindi nagkita, tas nakita kayo ulit, it's as if you can pick it up from the last time you saw each other. So for me, that's really a good sign of the friendship in him. Now, as a musician, yang si Irv Lumawag, I would say that he's a very intelligent singer. We all know how powerful his voice is. We all know how beautiful his voice is. But when it's needed, he's able to blend. He's able to sing together when he is in a choir, which is really what's very important in choral singing. So, Irvin, congratulations for this, for your participation in the Madz et al. Virtual Choral Festival, and with this choir named Salmo. Ang nakakatuwa naman po sa Salmo is protégés po sila ni Manay Lily Cabajo. Siya din ang voice teacher ni Irv. Makikita po natin yung continuity in the passion, continuity in the music. The song that they're going to sing in this segment is I Sing Out by Mark Hayes. I would say that this is a very perfect song for them, considering that they're all volunteers to be able to sing out their passion, their voices, and their love for music. So ladies and gentlemen, Salmo under the baton of Irv Lumawag. Let's give them a round of applause.
an eye for an eye. There's gotta be a better way. I'm primed to do my part. So starting today, from deep within my heart, I sing out peace, I sing out hope, I sing out all the song that everyone will know. Life gets better, the future's brighter, burdens feel much lighter when I sing out. When I sing out, I sing out joy, I sing out joy, I sing out love, I sing out love. Here's my chance to show the world what I'm made of. With my voice I can inspire, I empower, I enlighten. With my voice I can heal my world. From the very best part of who I am, I sing out, 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 I sing we are the voice the world is waiting for, and so we sing like we've never sung before. We sing out peace, we sing out hope, we sing out boldly so that everyone will know. Life gets better, the future's brighter, burdens feel much lighter when we sing out. When we sing out, we sing out joy, we sing out joy, we sing out love, we sing out love. Here's our chance to show the world what we're made of. With our voices we inspire, we empower, we enlighten. With our voice we can heal the world. From the very best part of who we are, we sing out, 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 we sing out. From our hearts we sing out.
Ang ganda naman nun. With my voice, I can inspire, I empower, I enlighten. With my voice, I can heal the world. This song by Mark Hayes is the very essence not just of our et al. Festival, but I believe the very heart of our reason as choristers, musicians, and singers. And virtually, it was beautifully put to life by Salmo and Irv Lumawag. Maraming salamat.
Nako, Perla, nagiging Miss Universe et
Oo
al.
nga.
Aba,
Miss Universe.
Biglang-
Ay,
Umiba.
thank you. And thank you. Ganon. Totoo po iyon. Promise.
So that was a very beautiful opener. Our theme for tonight is about faith. Very important, especially during these dark times, literally and figuratively dark times. But the light of the human spirit will shine through if we have faith. So we asked a few of our choristers to share their thoughts about faith. And after that, Irvin will return the favor by introducing his friend who will perform next.
Sorrow looks back, worries looks around, faith looks up.
And still, after all this time, the sun never says to the earth, "You own me." Look what happens with a love like that. It lights the whole sky.
Manali, pinatahimik man tayo ng unos, sa bawat simula may pag-asa.
All I have seen teaches me to trust the Creator for all I have not seen.
As we fly, we may still not know where we're going to. But the miracle is in the unfolding of the wings. You may not know where you're going, but you do know that so long as you spread your wings, the winds will carry you.
On our journey to God, we experience our own chiaroscuro, an interplay of lights and shadows in our daily lives. May our faith be our light when everything else is in darkness. Only then will we be able to find peace in our hearts.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, I am Irvin Lumawag. I sang with the Philippine Magical Singers in 2010 to 2013. I am music director and conductor of the Afterglow Singers and Salmo from Bacolod City, Philippines, participating in this year's Madz et al. Virtual Choral Festival. I am here to introduce to you tonight a good friend of mine and a fellow Philippine Magical Singers alumnus, Mr. Leo Peter Gonzalez. Leo, known to his friends as LPG, is manager and singer of the pop operatic group called Nel Canto, the music director of the Philippine Airlines Chorale, the Philippine National Police Chorale, the Auto Hub Chorale, and the Sentire Chorale. He conducts choral workshops and was juror to many local choral competitions. Leo is not only a very good singer and conductor, he's a promising businessman. He's manager and owner of Yormenok's Special Lechon Manok and also of Dolores Kakanin. The Philippine Airlines Chorale is the official choir of our nation's flag carrier. This group of singers dedicate themselves to serve through music to inspire the nation and the whole world. Amidst this crisis, they remain a family forged by music and bonded by friendship. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome the Philippine Airlines Chorale under their conductor, Mr. Leo Peter Gonzalez, to sing Body and Blood by Frederick De Santos.
Free
Wow, Leo. Napakaganda ng situation nito. Despite everything, you were able to complete a group, at least a small group, to sing for this festival. Di ba, Pearl? Grabe. It's so heartwarming for us here. And what is rather interesting for us is your interest also in doing something to eat. And that is your very, very famous yog manok. Di ba? Tama ba yun?
Sarap.
Yog manok. Gusto ko yan.
Oo nga, ang sarap ng kakanin, Leo. Padala mo dito, please DHL dito sa bangko.
Pag-abot dito sa Italy, wala na yan.
Okay, our next performer, a Madz conductor, really needs no introduction because she is very well known across all generations of the Madz. So sabi namin, we said, no need for an introduction. But then she will not be happy without an introduction. So sige na, gagawan ka namin ng introduction. And what better way, or who's the best person to introduce you than one of the Madz babies? Somebody who knows you very, very well. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Lucas Malvar-Seiler to introduce his mom and her choir.
Guten Tag, guten Abend, Philippines. I am Lucas Seiler from Bavaria, Germany, and I am the son of Aurelia Malvar-Seiler, a former member of the Philippine Magical Singers. My parents met while they were singing in a choir. My father Gerald is a former member of the Renner Ensemble Regensburg. Now, I too am singing with this male choir. I am so honored to introduce my mother in this wonderful Madz virtual choral festival. She loves music so much, and because of this, she teaches music and voice as a music teacher in the musical school Hallbergmoos, Neufahren and Solling. She also teaches music to kindergarten children at Blumen Kindergarten Musikalische Früherziehung. There, she gives very young children first insights in music. She teaches them rhythm, singing notes and songs. Tonight, on your virtual festival, I would like to present to you her Kinderchor, die Moosspatzen from Hallbergmoos, who will sing Da berühren sich Himmel und Erde, which means heaven and earth touch, composed by Thomas Laubach and arranged by Christoph Lehmann. To be accompanied at the piano by Daniel Götze. And of course, to be conducted by a very energetic and vibrant lady, my loving mother, baby Malvar-Seiler.
Wo Menschen sich verbünden, den Hass überwinden und neu beginnen, ganz neu. Da berühren sich Himmel und Erde, dass Friede werde unter uns. Da berühren sich Himmel und Erde, dass Friede werde unter uns.
Where men unite and overcome hatred, a new beginning, brand new. Then heaven and earth touch each other, so that peace may be among us.
Und neu
Wow, baby! All the more I miss you and visiting you in Munich in Hallbergmoos. You know, I was supposed to visit baby this year, but because of the COVID, we had to cancel all the travel plans. I would have wanted to hear your kids, the children, sing live. As Ma'am Oy would say, start them young. Because if you start them young, kids who sing earlier in life have a head start over everybody else. Thank you for everything that you do for the kids, baby. We will see you. I will see you soon and visit you and hope to hear your choir live.
Wag lang siyang mga anak ulit, di ba?
Pwede pa ba? I don't joke lang. Love you.
Anyway, I know that children don't need coaches to sing. They will just sing whenever they like, whatever they like, etc. But here is somebody who will be willing to help you with your little problems or big problems about singing and about breathing and everything. We'd like to introduce to you again our Sing Out session with Coach Kat.
Sing Out session.
Hi, welcome back to Sing Out Session Q&A with me, Coach Kat. Now we have another question for today. Now this comes from Maria Luz Protasio of Cebu City. Sabi po nila, totoo po ba na bawal manigarilyo at magpuyat ang mga singers? Bakit po yung iba nakikita ko na parehong ginagawa yon? Yes, this is not advised, as smoking and staying up late have various effects on our singing voice. If we smoke, we risk developing voice disorders which could lead to voice loss. So careful tayo dyan. And if we stay up late and if we don't have enough rest and sleep, we could end up with a weak and hoarse voice when we sing. Alright, so I hope that you enjoyed that tip. Now, let's enjoy our next performers. Thank you so much. This is Sing Out Session Q&A with me, Coach Kat. Bye!
Back at the Film Life Days ng Et Al Festival, kasi dun ko nakilala siya. I remember this person as super shy, cute na siya nun, in fairness, at pero ito pinakamahalaga, slim siya nun. Oo, payat siya nun. Then one day, he visited me sa Madz rehearsal from Baguio. Galing siya ng Baguio dahil gusto niyang humiram ng pyesa yata sa Madz before. And then, tapos, before you know it, Madz na siya. He is one of the hardworking, generous, sweet, and committed members of the Madz now. Masaya siya kasama, at ito isa sa mga special traits niya, aside sa singing, no? Siguradong sigurado, mapapasarap ka ng kain pag katabi mo siya.
Hindi, magaling rin siya ng photographer.
Yes, of course. Marami siyang magagandang qualities. Pero ito yung pinakamahalaga.
Yes,
masarap siyang kumain.
Hi, my name is Mark Allen Estrera, and I've been singing with the Madz ever since 2013. Prior to that, I've been performing at the Madz et al. Festival as a member of the Cordillera Music Ministry of Baguio City. It has been the tradition of the choir that whenever we perform at the festival, we always start and end our performance with a traditional Cordillera dance. It has been the advocacy of the choir to promote the indigenous culture of the Cordillera and Northern Luzon through music and dance. The choir is headed by Professor Arvin Villalon as director and Professor Jose Soliman Jr. as conductor. They have been a big influence in honing my talent and passion for choral singing. They have also paved the way in pursuing my dream of being part of the Madz. We will be performing Kanlungan, based on Psalm 139, lyrics by Onofre Pagsanghan, and music by Father Manuling Francisco. It was arranged for us by Robert Quintin. It is a song of comfort that reminds us that despite of life's challenges, God holds us dearly because we are His children.
kabunyan ay wala dayaan ay ang kami maniyaman sarikat intin mo kayman at na yang kami inumdan sinang inyo patawan ay indaman papuyaan ay kayman man iinungan ang kakud baginbinan ipugaw sinan patawan am enan pipinugi day danan nam nama ay kayman di kay ili Adinan ilaw dawat mi, kansik ay amami, ay wala dayaan. Dang kapay salsalak ni ban, aminan pagilian, sakit ay endakan kanan, takod en kumaan, tao magyod nan pagilian. Siya dinan en kami ilaw dawatan, ako mi ay kabunya, ana
a song that reassures and comforts us, that God will always be our loving shelter is just what we all need in these trying times. Thank you, Cordillera, Sir Joey Soliman Jr., for that heartfelt rendition of Father Manoling Francisca's song that was also beautifully arranged by one of their committed and dedicated members, Mr. Robert Quintin.
Pearl, di ba they used to be called Merinol Sanctuary Choir? Kasi natatandaan ko, I used to hear them at the Film Live and they would come just at the nick of time or konti na lang late na sila. Sila yon.
Actually, kuya, yes, pero hindi po sila late. Actually, kaya sila nagkakaganan na nangyayari because galing sila ng Baguio. It was like 6 to 8 hours of travel. Opo,
Oh my God.
galing sa mga trabaho o kaya iba nag-half day lang o kaya iba nag-absent na. Ganun po ang ano yan. Ang drama po nila ay lagi if ever tatawag yan na on the way na sila and then mag-update si Sir Joey. Nasa NLEX na sila kaso late sila sa soundcheck, nagsosorry. So dadating sila at times magpe-perform na. So, habang nasa stress kami dahil iniintay namin sila, sila rin mas stress kasi sila yung magpe-perform. But the best part is, kahit lagi silang harassed before the show, it didn't stop them from joining the festival every year. Yes, in fact, lagi silang excited and looking forward to coming to Manila kahit na magkagutom-gutom sila sa pag-travel o kahit na magka-traffic sila sa pagbaba dito. All-out commitment sila. Suki, ika nga. At di pa natatapos doon kasi after the festival, babalik pa sila ulit ng Baguio that same evening dahil may work pa sila and school the following day. So while lahat ay nakakainan or natutulog na sa kanilang mga tahanan, sila ay nasa biyahe pa pabalik ng Baguio. So, ang tawag po doon, I think, is heroic effort. Parang ginagawa lang UP, Trinoma, SM, ang Baguio at Manila, Baguio.
Wow.
Amazing.
Also coming from afar, although not as far as Baguio, is another choir from Cabanatuan City. Again, isa sa mga suki din ng Madz et al. And I think this is one of the et al. Choirs that has produced a lot of singers who actually went on to become Madz. Hindi ba, Pearl?
Yes, agree.
Correct.
Marami talaga.
Correct.
More than 5 or something, 6 or 8, ganyan. Na lahat talaga naging members at nagstay ng matagal sa Madz. And also, I can attest, nung nagpupunta pa kami sa CIC noon, nung batch nila, yung mga first batches ng CIC Chorale, I can attest to the level or degree of their dedication and commitment, yung mga members na to, during the time na sumasama ako sa Cabanatuan to observe them sa kanilang pagre-rehearse. Until 2 a.m., buhay na buhay sila. Nagre-rehearse, nagme-memorize, nagko-quartet. Tapos, the following day, may kanta pa sila sa mass. Hindi lang isang mass, 2 o 3 masses yung kinakantahan nila. Grabe ang dedication nila, nakakatuwa. Nag-pay off naman ang lahat ng magandang training na yon. Noong nag-Madz na sila.
So, commitment first and dedication.
Yes. Ang galing ng training. So to introduce our next performer, who was co-founded by their conductor emeritus Alfred Samonte and now also conducted by Aldrich Batalla, another member ng CIC na naging Madz, na naging conductor, we will now hear from one of their staunchest supporters, and not just supporters, but really the founder of the choir, Father Michael Veneracion.
I am Father Michael Veneracion, a diocesan priest and president of the College of the Immaculate Conception in Cabanatuan City. Together with Mr. Alfred Samonte, I co-founded the CIC Chorale as part of the mission of the school in championing culture and arts by way of formal education. The singers you are about to listen to are founding members and alumni of the CIC Chorale. Majority of them were part of the season when choral singing in the province of Nueva Ecija flourished. They were outstanding in their performances here and abroad. Their continuing engagement in the promotion of choral singing has given birth to many promising choirs in Nueva Ecija, Indeed, Nueva Ecija is singing. The song they will sing is my original work. I composed it on the eve of one Christmas some years back, so it is a Christmas song. It speaks of God's love for us that came down on Christmas Day. With the same love, we are blessed and has become the church. With the same love, we bless others and imitate Jesus, the incarnate love of the Father. It is this love that we all desire to have and to give, especially now when hope is needed more than ever. What can defeat COVID is God's love expressed in different ways. We care for humanity and our Mother Earth. May the good Lord bless you all with His love. My fellow lovers of music, please welcome the CIC Chorale alumni.
with your love that really was very interesting and very emotional. Anyway, the CIC Chorale, I've known them since their beginning because Alfred is a very good friend of mine, Alfred Zamonte, and he brought them here to Europe. And then the families really were very touched. They said, with this singing, all of you Filipinos sing so well, they said, and they had these connections. They came to Europe twice with that. So they really have this discipline of how to sing a song to reach the hearts of the people. So that is what Alfie did to them. And now it's Aldrich who does it.
Wow.
I agree with you, Ate Candy. Mahalaga ang discipline sa isang choir. So ako naman, as a manager of the Madz and the Madz et al. Virtual Choral Festival, talagang obsessed ako sa matters of discipline. So ayoko na may mga absent, medyo meticulous ako sa absences, sa mga tardiness, pagka may nalilate, ayan, mga pasaway, ganyan. So, hindi yun pwede kasi na yun yung may impart natin, yun yung magandang training na mabibigay natin sa mga korista pag alis nila sa mga
ganun
choirs
din sa panahon namin.
Yes, ate. Ikaw nga ang idol ko, ate. Pero I heard mas strict ka sa akin. Which is good. Maganda yun, ate. Tignan mo naman ang mga product, diba? People, let me introduce to you someone who will discuss a matter so close to my heart. Ladies and gentlemen, Queen Corona.
Presenting Her Royal Highness Queen Corona of Oriana.
Hello! As promised by your queen, I will teach you how to become a royalty episode after episode. Last episode, your queen reminded her subjects to have an undivided attention in the entire duration of the rehearsal. The next royal knowledge that I will be glad to share with you is about starting and ending the rehearsals on the dot. Obviously, waiting for everybody else to arrive before starting the rehearsal basically permits everyone to be late on the next rehearsal. Gently remind your members that the rehearsals will start with or without them. No doubt that your choir members have other things going on with their lives, families, jobs, taking care of their queen, etc., etc. Finishing up the practice on time is of royal mark for respect of that. More tips will be imparted by your queen in the next episode. In the meantime, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Adieu.
Hello, bonjour. Ako si Oscar Pantaleon, dating member ng Madrigal Singers na ngayon ay naninirahan sa Canada.
Guten Tag from Germany. Ako naman po si Jonathan Zaens, Madz 1989 batch.
Jonathan and I, along with Candy Patricia Cawilan and Aurelia Baby Malvar-Seiler, are collectively known as the Madz Quartet, which trained the Pansol Choir in the early 90s.
Tita Nini Jorge, an avid Madz supporter and a parishioner of the DLSUD community, had the brilliant idea for us to team up as a quartet and coach the choir. And that was right after our European competition tour back in 1989.
Alala ko pa yung schedule natin dati. Madz rehearsal 6 to 8 p.m., kain ng mabilis tapos takbo sa De La Strada para naman sa Pansol Choir rehearsal na umaabot minsan hanggang hating gabi.
Kasama pa nating nagpupuyat si Mark Carpio, who was our accompanist back then. It's a blessing that Mark has been with us from the very start because he took the reins and then broadened the choir's repertoire after we all have relocated.
So, with Mark at the helm, the Pansol Choir extended its membership to singers not only from Pansol but of nearby towns.
At hindi lang yun. Lately, they have participated in international choral competitions and festivals. The choir has gone a long, long way since our Christmas choral contest days at the Araneta Center in Cubao. Nag-level up na.
And way much further from the choir's humble beginnings. To this day, the Pansol Choir continues to reach out and share its passion for music that is inspiring and uplifting. Such is a song we will hear tonight, Banyuhay, a collaboration of songwriters Dennis Van Grospe and Jonathan Mendoza, a piece specially commissioned for this year's virtual Madz et al. Choral Festival.
Banyuhay is a song about getting through hard times. It is a song of hope, determination, and the power of love amidst adversity. And we are very proud to present the performing artists, the Pansol Choir, with our dear friend Mark Anthony Carpio conducting.
CIC Chorale ng bagong umaga. Sa bawat pagkakabay may pagbago, sa bawat pagkakabay may pagbago. Sa lipas ng gabi ay umaga. Di magsalita ng lahat ay makakabay. Di nagpanasan sa ating mga bagong anyo ng buhay na. Bagong anyo ng buhay, may bagong umaga na hisinay. Sa bawat sula may pag-asa, pag-asa. Bagong anyo ng buhay, bagong anyo ng buhay, bagong anyo ng buhay, bagong anyo ng buhay. Sa daig ng puso ay may kapanatagan, ipag-inom sa bawat karapatan. May pagsibok sa gitna ng bawat kawalan, nakakatiran sa ating puso isipan. Iwan sa pagkina ng ulan, may paghahari. Hatid ay pag-asa, tuloy sa ating mga bagong anyo ng buhay na. Bagong anyo ng buhay, may bagong umaga na hisinay. Muwi ng namulan, balikan sa bawat sula may pag-asa. Pinatahimik may tayo ulos. Pag-ibig, pag-ibig natin ay lubos. Pinahulugan ang ating manatili. Pag-ibig ang ating awit.
Truly, the message about faith and hanging on and pushing through despite the difficulties was very well put through by Pansol Choir. And I really, really admire the sense of ministry and the sense of mission of this choir. And especially si Sir Mark, no? Kahit he's very busy now, he has a lot of very important things to take care of. Hindi niya ever pinabayaan yung Pansol. In fact, he's so dedicated to this. Ito talaga yung kanyang personal ministry, and that is what I find very humbling, very inspiring about Sir Mark. Yung talagang, there is this sense of mission about music. It's not about fame, it's about faith.
Correct.
Yeah. Speaking about faith, there are a lot of choristers who want to give out their hearts on what they think about this matter, about faith and hope and everything. So let's welcome them.
Search me, O God, and know my heart. Try me and know my anxious thoughts. Surely the darkness will overwhelm me, and the light around me will be night. Even the darkness is not dark to you, and the night is as bright as the day. Darkness and light are alike to you. Psalm 139.
Doubt is a pain too long laid to know that faith is a strength brother, and so faith is the oasis in the earth which will never be reached by the caravan of thinking.
Follow your bliss, and the universe will open doors for you where there were only walls.
Dahil sa harayang hindi mapipigil, bayang pinangako'y ating mararating. Ang poong may kapal, doon makakapiling. Dama ang ligayang walang pagmamaliw.
After our choristers speak about faith,
wait lang, kuya. Sandali lang, ha? Parang may kinakabahan ata na kasama natin dito sa show. Wait lang. May tatanong lang ako. May mic ako. Ate Candy, do you feel any pressure right now?
Yes.
Kaya lang, Ate Candy.
So
breathe lang. Breathe, Ate Candy. Kaya mo yan. Love you.
Mag-yoga na lang ako. Kasi hindi ako nasi-stress sa yoga.
Kinakabahan si Candy.
Hindi nagpapanto.
Okay.
I'm smiling.
Smiling pa rin. Grace under pressure. Okay. So, after our choristers share their thoughts about faith, we are going to listen to Candy's choir. Yay!
Yay!
Hello everyone! We are all excited to join the Madz et al. Virtual Choir Festival this year. And it becomes more special for us since we are celebrating our 25th anniversary. We have always been invited to come and join your festival in the Philippines in the past years, but scheduling our trips to cross oceans to reach you in Manila has given us problems despite our very strong desire to participate.
Ma quest'anno sarà diverso. La mancanza di attività corale per 6 mesi a causa del lockdown che ha visto l'Italia chiudersi in se stessa per effetto della pandemia ci ha portati a raccogliere con grande motivazione la sfida di partecipare a questo Madz et al. Virtual Choir Festival e facendolo anche un progetto nostro personale per il 25° anniversario del Coro. E così, in soli 4 giorni, siamo riusciti a registrare il nostro brano. Ed ora, in maniera virtuale, voliamo a Manila per partecipare a questo grande evento, grazie ai Philippine Madrigal Singers e grazie a Candy, nostra direttrice da ben 18 anni, che ci ha sostenute a questa partecipazione malgrado le poche prove fatte. Per i Soul Singers il canto è la preghiera più intima e la musica è la sua forma più coinvolgente. E per questo noi ci aspettiamo e ci auguriamo che le nostre voci raggiungano i vostri cuori.
For our performance tonight, we will be singing All We Praise the Lord, Psalm 141, from the Book of Psalms. It is composed by Madrigal alumnus Father Arnold Zamora, and the choral arrangement is also by another Madz alumnus, Christopher Borella.
Cari amici, Unitevi al Soul Singer Gospel Choir, diretto da Candy Patrizia Caulian, alzando le mani, alzandoci in piedi, con la nostra voce, lodiamo Dio.
Stand up and raise your hand. Oh, we praise the mighty one. Oh, we praise the only one. Oh, we sing a song of praise. Oh, we glorify his name and give worship and give thanks. And we joy. Oh, we praise the Lord. Let the mountains and the hills and praise praise to thee. All the orchards and the forests, all the birds and fish, giving him the sound of praise. Now stand up, the voices raise. Oh, we praise the mighty one. Oh, we praise the only one. Oh, we sing a song of praise. Oh, we glorify his name and give worship and give thanks. And we joy. Oh, we praise the Lord. Oh, praise the Lord. Oh, praise the Lord. Oh, praise the Oh, we praise the mighty one. Oh, we praise the only one. Oh, we sing a song of praise. Oh, we glorify his name and give worship and give thanks. And we joy. Oh, we praise the Lord. Oh, we praise the mighty one. Oh, we praise the only one. Oh, we sing a song of praise. Oh, we glorify his name and give worship and give thanks. And we joy. Oh, we praise the Lord. Oh, we praise the Lord. Oh, we praise the Lord. Oh, we praise the Lord.
Gratitude will always convert our misery to hope. And even in the midst of hardships that we are facing right now, there's still so much that we should be thankful for. Praising our Creator with or without COVID or any calamity is the best way to celebrate life and God's providence always. Thank you, Soul Singers Gospel Choir, to its lovely, talented conductor, Madz Alumna par excellence. Former Madz manager here, former professor at the UP College of Architecture, my idol, the Candy Kawilan. And of
Oh my
course,
God,
syempre, di po natin-
stop it.
At dagdag pa natin dyan, she is also now a very accomplished and an expert audio and video editor. Tumatanggap na po siya ng mga sideline ngayon.
Oh, no, no,
Yes.
no, no,
Kuya,
no.
ay ate, wait lang. May sasabihin ako, last na. Huwag natin kalimutan ang composer ng song. The ever-talented,
Yes.
funny. At ito po mahalaga. Kailangan daw sinasama lagi ito sa kanya. And good-looking. Madz alumnus, Father
Guwapo.
Arnold Zamora.
Ay, nako, tama na. From San Francisco, California, where Father Arnold Guapo Zamora, who is the composer of my song earlier, we bring you and fly you now to New York, where there's another Guapo segment host who will give you lots of notices or news on choral activity, choral conductors, choral music, etc. Let's welcome him, Enrico, with his Enrico Connect.
In the roaring Catholic school, in the silence of my lonely room.
Hi, Jello. So wonderful to see you here. You as Jello, as Angelo Diamos, the conductor, the singer, and in this special occasion, special event, also the composer. Humayo Ka is the piece, world premiere, diba? I understand.
Yeah. In the process, there was this kind of tune that keeps on coming to mind, and I wanted to come up with something that's both simple but really heartwarming. Was able to come up with this simple text for the song, which talks about the sadness of letting go, and at the same time, in the long run, the acceptance.
Something special about writing music for the same choir that you teach. What makes DLSU Dasmariñas Chorale sound?
What we actually go for as we mold the sound of DLSUD Chorale, not just from my time, even during the time of Kuya Velitan. Being a choir that's based in a school where the turnover of members is really quick, 3 to 4 years, nagpapalit-palit kami ng members. The sound is always evolving. It's always fresh. It's always exciting to hear the evolution of the sound as the years go by. So,
Jello, thank you so much for joining me tonight, and I cannot wait to hear this world premiere. Words and music by you, by Angelo Diamos, to be performed by DLSUD Chorale, Del Salle University Dasmariñas Chorale, Humayo Ka, world premiere.
Nari sa bawat bituin at ulap sa papawirin. Ngunit maunawaan higit sa'yo pag-isa na iyong baguhin. Sa tunay mo, inayo ka.
Yellow, my God, you surprise me. I don't know, I have not met you personally. We've always met virtually. Aside from being a very, very good segment host for Madz Sing Along, I didn't know that you also composed. Wow, for a young man like you, big time, big time. Go on, do it, and you will reach places.
And speaking of mga suki ng choirs ng Madz et al., the next choir is a hardcore suki of the festival.
So our next featured performer will first talk about his reflections and his inspirations and a little bit of, because suki nga siya, haligi, pilar, wall, sahig, floor, ceiling, all the Madz et al. And a supporter of Ma'am O's vision. We said, before you introduce your choir, can you share with our viewers a little bit about what you feel, what you think, what's the inspiration and motivation, and what do you think about this whole Madz et al. Before you introduce your choir? So here's a special feature by our next guest.
Good evening. The very first et al. That I watched, the Madz et al. Of 1995 or 1994. I was so fascinated by the variety of choirs performing at the CCP. And at the time, I was so engrossed and so impressed by the performance of the Makati Med Choir conducted by Arnel del Rosario. I said, if this is what Madz is doing, and if it goes every year, I think it will reach maybe the whole Philippines. Ngayon, 2020 na, and we have reached beyond the islands of the Philippines. This is fascinating because the idea of Ma'am OA to make Sing Philippines has gone beyond the Philippines. What Madz et al. Makes something different is the idea of it being a festival. It creates a more friendly atmosphere. And with the more friendly atmosphere, then we are more open to a freer expression, a more flowing artistry, more creative output. In competitions, we normally get so engrossed in trying to achieve perfection. And sometimes we lose the enjoyment of simply just expressing ourselves. In the Madz et al. Festival that we have been doing, we have always abided by the theme of a particular year. And with the particular themes that are assigned every year, it also opens up a lot of possibilities for different compositions, different creativity. Like what is happening now, we see a lot of new works being done and adapted to the virtual choir experience. Maybe 5 to 10 years from now, if we look back to 2020 and how we have adapted to the pandemic, we see that the resilience of the Philippine madrigal singers and also in the ingenuity of trying to adapt to situations that are very difficult. This is a manifestation of the strength of the human spirit. And we know that this has been the inspiration given by Ma'am OA, not only in singing, but in the idea that we must not give up, we must not give in to challenges, and we must always look for things to express our artistry and win over any situation. It is what makes the Madz et al. Uniquely different from other festivals. The piece that we have chosen for this festival is entitled Atong Daigon. It's written by Ralph Hoffman, and it's a very short musical setting of St. Thomas Aquinas' Tantum Ergo in Bisaya. This is apt to our theme of this evening, which is about faith. Allow me to read the English translation of the Tantum Ergo. Down in adoration falling, lo, the sacred host we hail. Lo, o'er ancient forms departing, newer rites of grace prevail. Faith for all defects supplying, where the feeble senses fail. And then the last verse goes, to the everlasting Father and the Son who reigns on high, with the Holy Spirit proceeding forth from each eternally, be salvation, honor, blessing, might, and endless majesty. Amen. So what better way to ask for providence or guidance in this time of pandemic than through asking God to always guide us. And we have very strong faith that we will get through this all together. Without further ado, I would like to introduce to you the Novo Concertante Manila with Atong Daigon, composed by Ralph Hoffman.
Jesus,
Thank you very much, Novo Concertante and Dr. Arwin Tan. Arwin, ang ganda! Ralph Hoffman, wow. I really admire the imagination, the innovativeness, and most especially yung sense of mission of Dr. Arwin Tan and how he has built this music, this sound through the years. Diba? Ang ganda.
Kuya Alfred, may I say something? May I say that Dr. Arwin Tan is one of Ma'am OA's missionaries. Kasi always present, never absent, kahit super busy siya sa kanyang pagpapakadalubha sa pagtuturo sa UP College of Music. At iyan ay dahil sa wagas niya na pagmamahal kay Ma'am OA at sa ating mission. Maraming salamat, Dr. Arwin Tan. Irog! At ano po yung nabalitaan ko, mga ate and kuya, na nag-ugly cry yata kayo sa session niyo with Dr. Arwin Tan? Ano yan? Pa-share naman konti.
Ay nako, Pearl. Kasi siyempre, pag nag-zoom, ang tagal-tagal din hindi nagkikita. Nagkukwentuhan. And we recall memories. Ay, Diyos ko, nung si Arwin na nagsalita ng iba niyang memories, ako, hindi na namin mapilitan kumuha ng panyo o napkin para magpunas. Because, you know, really, we really miss Ma'am OA. We really miss her that much. So...
And Arwin's memories of Ma'am OA brought back a lot of this. What was she thinking? What was she doing? Nakaka-inspire the way that Arwin talked about it. So at one point, humahalugulgul na lang ako. I was ugly crying myself. I said, Candy, please go on with the interview. I cannot speak.
I remember parang dyan galing yung aleli. Sa kanila ba, kina Arwin? Yeah. During the time.
Mga samahan ng aleli. Okay. Now we go to a wonderful group that I think, if I'm not mistaken, is uniquely created by the times and the circumstances that we have today, yung pagka-virtual. So, VC6. Pearl, what is VC6, our 10th performer?
Well, according to Jackie, VC6, kuya, it's galing ito sa Sing Gently virtual choir project of Mr. Eric Whitaker. And maraming Filipino choristers joined, including the founders of VC6, former Madz singer Jackie Jimenez, who is now US-based, and Coro Ilustrado member Gibbs de los Santos. At first daw, parang joke lang nila na, hindi ka mag-form tayo ng choir, yung mga kumanta kay Eric Whitaker. But then, nagkatotoo siya. So, they gathered all these Filipino choirs who sang there, at hayun, voila! VC6 Philippine Singers, or simply VC6, was born.
So ito yung Filipino contingent of Eric Whitaker's grand worldwide virtual.
Pero the number 6, I think, Pearl, the number 6, I think, was because they were the 6th that was being published, that was being streamed.
The 6th, yung Gently, yes, the Sing Gently virtual choir project.
Yeah.
It's number 6, yes, that is why.
Correct.
Okay. And they're going to also do a world premiere by a wonderful, very talented choral conductor who I am privileged to call my friend. Small trivia, pareho kaming sort of Bangkok-based. So we are two Filipinos who found our friendship here in Bangkok. He's a frequent, almost resident, semi-resident of Bangkok. He is the famous conductor of the award-winning Philippine Meister Singers, and also he's brought the Swan Blue Chorus of Thailand to really greater heights. So here is the composer of the song that VC6 or Virtual Choir 6 will perform. Welcome to Madz et al. Ramon Bojo Lijauco.
I am Bojo Lijauco, the composer of Haraya. It is such a delight and a privilege to be part of this year's Madz et al. Writing the music for the VC6 Philippines, led by two of my dear friends, Tommy Vertusio and my former choir member and student Jackie Jimenez. I am also happy to be collaborating on this composition with my father, Ramon Lijauco Sr., who wrote the text. When we were discussing, Jackie and I, we thought of doing it in Filipino to make it more heartfelt, not just for the singers, but to the majority of the listeners. But I also know that there's a big international audience as well, and giving something from our Filipino hearts would be a great treat for the world audience. Haraya in English, meaning imagination, is about our longing for heaven. It talks about how we envision or imagine what heaven would look like and how it will be when we finally reach that heavenly home. Personally, this piece is quite relevant, knowing that the situation we are in, being in a state of chaos and really such a troubling and challenging time around the world. And all we pray and hope for is a better place to live in. And literally, figuratively, and spiritually, that better place is heaven. The piece is somehow a subtle but an intense expression of that longing. And it is the goal of this composition to really create in the listeners that excitement and yearning to want to be in heaven, where there are no tears, sorrow, death, and crying. I have not heard this piece yet, and everything is just alive in my head. And so we will all be listening to it for the first time. So it is my joy to present to you with the song Haraya, led by Jacqueline Jimenez and Thomas Umberto Vertucio Jr., the VC6 Philippines.
Heaven must be real indeed, especially ngayong pandemic at ang mga nararanasan nating mga kalamidad. We feel and see God's grace around us despite the pain and suffering. To experience kindness from the frontliners, from all volunteers, mga musicians and concerned citizens na walang sawa sa pagtulong, they help create that heaven here on earth to keep us smiling and to keep us going as we try to celebrate life in full spectrum. Thank you, VC6, Jackie, Tommy, and Gibbs, and to the composer of Haraya, former Madz trainee, Mr. Bojo Lihaupo.
As we bring the show closer to the end, we get to the point where you, the viewers, don't just sit and listen. We get to give you the chance to actually sing along. In our closing number, there are 20 or so Madz singers singing our closing number. There are 10 choirs times 20 to 30 singers. That's probably 400 singers, all voices together singing our finale. But you, our viewers, all 800, 1,000, 2,000 viewers watching us tonight, this is your chance to all sing with us. Imagine if you all sing together. So I hope you were able to download the score from the Madz Music Studio Facebook page, because we want you to rehearse with us so that you can sing with us, so that choral singing or singing together is not just a spectator sport, but it is a involved activity for all of us.
Look at your piece and sing with us, because we will lead you into the different portions of the Tutti song, the festival song. So let's welcome Madz Sing-Along segment host, Jello Diamos.
Hello everyone, Jello here with another mini edition of Madz Sing-Along. We're doing parts of the festival piece, Our Voices Will Be Heard, which will be sung at the end of the program. In the past 2 weeks, we have already studied parts of the score, which you can go back to if you watched previous concerts. Let's begin. Continuing with our study of the score, we will be completing the second verse by going over measures 32 to 38. Let's analyze it first. In the first two measures, the sopranos and the tenors sing the text. Now what you need to remember here is that it is the sopranos who are carrying the melody. So tenors, be sure to sing a bit less. Support lang tayo dito. After that, the sopranos continue with the melody up until measure 38. For the accompanying voices, the altos and the basses sing ah very lightly. Altos, mind your breath marks that have been placed by Sir Mark in the score. On measure 34, the tenors join in to pick up the following two bars, which will be sung by alto, tenor, and bass, dat, staccato, or short and detached, just like what we did last week. Let's listen to these 5 bars.
Sometimes we hold back the things we want to say. Oh, I've never lived just to fight another day.
Now, for measures 37 and 38, you will see that the voices enter one by one. Bass, tenor, alto, and then soprano. We sing this mezzo-piano or moderately soft, and just feel the build-up as the voices layer on top of each other. For the last 2 notes of the soprano, everyone should support that by doing a crescendo, and then everyone goes to the first line of the chorus to be sung in unison. Let's all listen to this part.
Let's keep a hand out.
Alright, let's combine all that and listen to the Madz first.
Sometimes we hold back the things we want to say. Oh, I've never lived just to fight another day. Let's keep a hand out.
Okay everybody, now it's time to sing along with the Madz. Here we go.
Sometimes we hold back the things we want to say. Oh, I've never lived just to fight another day. Let's keep a hand out.
And our voices will be heard. Great! Now we've already completed the second verse. See you later for the singing of the festival song. Enjoy!
So I hope you're all ready to sing along with our finale song in a little while. But before we do that, before we say goodbye to you, last week we launched a Madz et al. Trivia quiz, and our question was, which Madz et al. Conductor has the most number of choirs participating? So we picked out all the winners, and we picked out winner number 1, winner number 5, and winner number 10 in order of submission. So here in a little while on the screen, you will see who won the trivia quiz from last week with their correct answers. And Madz Music Studio will get in touch with you for your address, because we will send you through courier delivery your surprise gift.
Wow,
Syempre,
ano kaya ito?
a Pearl may gift. Okay, so here are the winners from last week's trivia quiz.
Congratulations to the winner of last week's trivia quiz, Lorraine Ann Fadriquela, Z. Diarsha, and Elijah Sagisag.
Now, second week, this will go for five weeks. So this is second week out of 5. Here is our second trivia quiz question. Ready na kayo? We will also pick the same winner. We'll take all the correct answers, number 1, number 5, and number 10 in order of who submitted first. Here is this week's trivia quiz question.
Name the conductor with the second highest number of participating choirs in this 2020 Madz et al. Virtual Choral Festival. Don't forget to name all the choirs.
So, dali na. Send your entries to the email provided so that you can just have fun as well as learn something, and maybe you will get that special prize courtesy of Tita Pearl.
Eh, kami ni Pearl, we cannot join.
Ay, ang Madz.
Oo nga eh. Sayang.
Madz current members, pwede. Madz
Pwede
alumni,
members.
pwede sumali. Choristers, Madz et al. Choir, Madz et al. Conductors, viewers, kamag-anak, father, mother, brother, sister, friends, unfriended friends, block friends, kabarangay, everybody can join except Pearl, Candy, the Madz Music Studio team, the Madz et al. Team, so Nico, and the production team. Yun ang excluded, but everybody can join. Okay.
No coaching.
No
coaching.
Gusto ko sana mag-coach.
Bawal mag-coach. Candy and Pearl. Okay. So, before we say goodbye, Pearl.
So, we'd like to thank all the choirs that participated tonight, their conductors, all the video and audio editors of the choirs, and particularly, of course, our team, Jordan and Nico. So we know that it's really very challenging for you because of the typhoon and all. So hindi natin alam kung may kuryente, makakapag-render pa tayo o makakabuo tayo ng show. But then, talagang sobra ang tenacity yung dalawa, at meron tayong show every Sunday. So, ang tawag dyan pa rin ay, parang yung kanina sinabi ko, heroic effort. So, thank you very much sa inyo dalawa at sa lahat.
Anyway, we have come to the point to say goodbye, although we don't like to leave you. But we want to leave you because you have to be excited again for the next Madz et al. Before everything, I would like to thank the Cultural Center of the Philippines, because they are our co-partners in this streaming. And we would like to thank very much from our hearts all the Madz alumni, present batch, the Madz family, the people behind the scenes, everything. Because of them, we have continued to live the dream that our loved conductor, Andrea Veneracion, has always dreamed of. Thank you very much. And let's join now with the virtual singing of the song, Our Voices Will Be Heard. Good night, everybody.
See you next week. Good night.
See you. Mabuhay.
Good night. See you next week.
Look at all the places we have gone.
There was a time we used to live as one.
Look at all the things that we have learned.
The way we rise, so we fall and burn.
Why do we say that we went off the path?
See, I'm where I am 'cause of where I was at. Let's keep ahead, and our voices will be heard. Whoa,
Our voices will be heard.
whoa.
Morning, day, and as we live as one, we share the light, the heat from our own sun. Even if we're lost in a crowd, a village it takes and we will be found. Sometimes we hold back the things we want to say, but I'd never live just to fight another day. Let's keep ahead,
And our voices will be heard together.
our voices will be heard.
Together,
Our voices will be heard.
together,
Our voices will be heard.
together.
Our voices will be heard.
Sometimes our hearts break and sometimes our souls ache, but know that we're never alone. Our voices will be heard. Sometimes our dreams take longer than we'll reach, till one day we find our way home. So keep on ahead, our voices in time will be heard. Yeah, our voices will be heard together.
Our voices will be heard.
Together,
Our voices will be heard.
together,
Our voices will be heard.
together. Anytime we find our way home, hey, but first we make ourselves known. Hey, there's ways to reach day, no matter how small it may seem. Over time we make our way home. Hey, in the streets we sing you a song. Hey, in the light of our hearts give us strength to guide us along. And we'll see our change, the seeds in our palm.
Together